So, a lot of people have been comparing what you are saying with the message of other various movements out there. So I thought we'd bring you in and give you the chance to set the record straight. Firstly, there have been rumors that you are involved in the emergent movement. Is this true?
No. I feel very negatively about the emergent church group, and my message differs from theirs on several levels. For example, I believe saying that practice is more important than doctrine is wrong. They are both equally important. Also, I believe historical doctrines and catechisms are good, useful, and helpful. Thirdly, my belief that Tulip and the Five Solas are accurate outlines or summarizations of Scripture's teaching of God's sovereignty, mercy, and our salvation, sin, and faith would likely upset those who favor the ideals of the emergent movement.
I see. Well, how about the house church movement? There's also Simple Church and Organic Church. Have you heard of these groups? You are pretty much saying the same things, right?
Well, they're on the right track, but there are some big differences in what Scripture teaches. These groups are moving towards a more neighborhood or family-centered approach to fellowship, which is good, but they are still promoting that Christians should make religious organizations. But Scripture does not say Christians should make their precious fellowship with God and with each other into a business like an organization or a ministry or a church. Don't get me wrong. Fellowship in a house or building or anywhere, for that matter, is pleasing to God. But they say that true worship is in the organization. Scripture teaches that true worship is individually done in obedience to Scripture. And when in a group, worship does not need any business, or an organization, or a ministry, or corporation. The verse, where 2 or 3 of you are gathered, there I am, refers to Christ giving the authority to write Scripture in our canon to his 12 chosen followers, and it has nothing at all to do with Christy.
Oh, okie dokie then. We feel pretty strongly about that, I can see. I guess I thought you would fit right in with the Jesus Life Together and NTRF crowd. No?
Good point. Jesus Life Together and NTRF are very good examples of biblical fellowship, but they are still trying to make Christian fellowship businesses like any other house church. On top of that, they center their whole liturgy around the Protestant spin-off of the Roman Catholic Eucharist. But there is no such thing as a communion ceremony, or Eucharist, or love feast. Instead, those who practice the Passover feast are to remember Christ as the fulfillment of all its symbolism.
I think that many others have come to realize that there is something odd about translating the word ecclesia as church and just the general use of the word church in the Bible. Some have even begun to translate this word as assembly or congregation instead of using the word church.
Understanding that there is a problem is great, but translating the word ecclesia as assembly does not fix it. In fact, it almost makes things worse. It goes that much further in promoting that Christians should make little fellowship businesses or fellowship meetings everywhere, but the word ecclesia always refers to individuals or living people and not to a meeting or a business. This can be seen in many scriptures where human attributes are given to the word ecclesia, and also substituting the word meeting for ecclesia often makes no sense in verses where Paul is clearly talking about humans and not a meeting. Do Christians meet together? Oh, all the time. Is that what the word ecclesia means? No. Are we to make our worship into a business? No. Some say the word ecclesia means community, but there are several verses which use the word ecclesia about people who do not even know each other or live together.
Well, that's about it. But do you have any last words? Or anything you'd like to clarify before we finish here?
Yes. I do like to remind everyone that the phrases go to ecclesia, have ecclesia, do ecclesia, or belong to ecclesia cannot be found in Scripture, nor can church names such as the First Baptist Church or Grace Bible Church, etc. But rather we find the ecclesia of God being one everywhere in Corinth, referring only to the location of some of those who belong to the ecclesia of God everywhere. The ecclesia of God in Corinth is the same as saying, the American money in my pocket. I don't have all of it in my pocket, but some American money resides there, just as some of God's ecclesia resided in Corinth. I hope this short interview has helped to explain where I stand